We're in store for another great NFL contest as we get set for the opening kickoff of this game. And now we'll go to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth for the opening kickoff. Tom?
It will be clear and mild for today's game. Hello, folks. Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth getting set for this one. And we're underway. And he'll return this one from the 7. The teams are set. The fans are excited. Let's get this game underway. I'm sure they'd like to come away with some points as they take the field for the first time. Houston comes to the line with 3 wide. With the pass. Rhodes intercepts it. Not sure what the call is. Let's see what the flag is all about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So he pays for his aggressiveness.
What a lot of people don't know is that there is one official assigned to watch every single receiver on the field. So there's no question that something like that is going to be seen and called.
Here's the halfback. He's brought down at the 46-yard line. That'll be a 7-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd down. A lot of playmakers on offense for Houston. Here are just a few.
Hold on. Let's go. Come on. Swim.
Green gets the carry. He gets out to about the 42-yard line. He did a nice job picking up the first on the run.
Nice little one-step move there. That's what Mike Shanahan really loves to see his players do. Make one quick cut, live with it, get your head down, pick up the first down.
Play fake. Interception. Well, he looked like he was in the right place at the right time.
Unless you're the quarterback, then he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Pennington hands it off. And they get him at the 42. And the halfback has nowhere to go. They line up at the 42. They line up in a double tight set. Back to pass. Ryans has the interception. To the 20. Great catch by the linebacker. Not a smart throw from the quarterback.
You know, it's hard to believe that you can lose a guy that big, but sometimes those linebackers dropping underneath in coverage, quarterbacks just don't see him, and he threw it right to him.
Shaw hands it off straight ahead. The defender gets him to the ground. Green gains about 2 yards on the run. They come out with a big set. Leach, the ball carrier, and he scores. What a play! Leach got some open space to work with and was able to put points on the board. Here's the point after. Point after is good. Brought down at the 33. It'll be interesting to see how this quarterback reacts after throwing an interception on his last drive. He looks to throw on first down. Throws right. And he caught it. Brought down at about the 47-yard line. And a great pass by the quarterback to convert for the first.
And what we're seeing out of this quarterback is a variety of throws. Yes, he has the ability to zip it in there when he needs to, but we've also seen some touch throws, a very complete repertoire.
He fakes it. Brings it in. Tackled around the 43-yard line. Nice toss that time that'll get them a lot closer.
You know, there's really no doubting this quarterback's physical skills. Sometimes he struggles with his mechanics or accuracy, but I don't think that there's really any issue. This guy has the ability to be an elite quarterback.
Run left side. Makes a cut, and he will be hit and dropped. Gain of 2. The Jets come out in the ace formation. Gives to the back. Brought down behind the line. Tried to run, but there was nothing available.
And if you can make a running back hesitate just a little, that time you could see there really was no hole, and the running back was just fishing for a place to go.
Come on, D.
Pennington hands off. And he's hit hard at the 42. Nowhere to go for the halfback. That's a loss of 1.
That looked painful on that one, and we're talking about the lost art of tackling. Not only was it a big hit, but it was a disciplined hit. Good wrap up, had a way to take him to the ground. Perfect.
And he was just a little too eager on that one. Here's the call.
Encroachment. Defense.
The defense can't keep getting up yards on penalties like this.
Yeah, it's hard enough in the game today with the rule changes to help the offense to stop an offense anyway, but you can't give away yards.
48. 48. Let's go now. Let's go.
He's looking to throw. Gets the pass away. He's brought down around the 27-yard line. That one worked pretty well.
It sure did, and I wish all our fans could see what's happening down the field on all our television broadcasts, because so much of the game now is won and lost in the secondary.
They hand it off. And they get him at the 24-yard line. Just about 3 yards there, and that will bring up second down. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Jones gets the carry. Brought down at the 18-yard line. Pickup of about 5, and that makes it third down. Offset I formation in the backfield. They'll give it off here. And it looks short from up here. The defense just ate up that play.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
He's got it. Good kick that time as he puts it right through. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Here's the kick. Jones takes it at the 4. He's hammered at the 26-yard line. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Shaw gives it up the middle, and he will lose yardage on the play. He was caught with nowhere to go.
This is a pretty good running back, and if you can hem him up like that, pretty impressive.
Shotgun formation.
Zebra. What's that screen out here? This dude on him tight.
He drops back to pass, looking for an open man. Lack of concentration as it bounces away. Daniels was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. It's 3rd down and 11 to go. Ball on their own 25.
We'll make this run, baby. Come on, D, let's cut the field now. 48. Yeah, we see that. 48. Let's go right.
He drops back. Surveys the field. Can't stay in bounds, incomplete pass. The receiver was out of bounds when he made the catch.
Not a perfectly timed throw that time. Held on to it just a little too long and led the receiver out of bounds.
Gets the punt away. Washington fields it at the 35. He's brought down at the 48-yard line. The offense was only able to muster a field goal on their last drive. We'll see what they do with this possession. New York goes with the ace set here. Play action. It just slips out of his hand. Smith was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. 2nd down now with 10 to go. Ball on the 48. One man in the backfield. They'll give it off here. Hit and drop behind the line. Not what they were looking for on that play call.
You know, for a running back, there comes a point in time where you say, all right, this play is not working. Let me just get as much as I can and try to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Drops back. He's under pressure. They sacked him.
Not much point in going for this one. I expect to see him punt it away here.
It's 4th down. The Jets lining up to punt. Graham awaits the snap. Gets it away cleanly. He'll take it from the 18. Tackled around the 22-yard line. They didn't look sharp on their last drive and were forced to punt it away. Offset I formation in the backfield. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. Brought down at the 24-yard line. Green picks up 2 yards with the carry. 2nd down and 8. And they'll line this one up with 2 tight ends. Dropped behind the line, and he'll lose yards on the counter.
The counter is one of those calls that we're seeing less and less of in the National Football League for the reason you just saw. That penetration by a good defensive line or speed at the linebacker position can really shut that play down.
Shaw dropping back. Throws on the run. Catch is made. He's brought down at the 31. Still not quite enough, however. They'll still be facing 4th down. Washington is back deep to return the punt. Punts it. Washington fields it at the 29. And that return should set this offense up nicely.
He did a good job there finding a seam and getting up the field. You know, a lot of people don't realize that being a punt returner or a kick returner is one of the toughest jobs in the NFL. There's a whole lot of things that could go wrong and only a few that can really go right.
He's dropped in the open field. They get 5 yards on the play. That brings up 2nd down. From their own 41-yard line. Offset I formation in the backfield. Back to throw. Short throw to the right. And he's drilled at the 47-yard line. Nice job getting that pass out of there, and he picks up the first down.
Yeah, smart play call that time by the offense. He could tell by the pre-snap read that short throw was going to be there, and he took advantage.
New York uses motion. Looking to throw. All kinds of pressure. Almost picked. A great play by the defense to knock the ball away.
And these defenders have been close all day. You better be careful if you're the quarterback. One of those is going to turn into an interception.
He's looking to throw. He's under a heavy rush. He's dropped at about the 49-yard line. Just about 3 on the pass. That'll make it third down. Washington lines up as the single back.
Play your assignments, man. 48. 48. Mike and Drizzle. Scatter. Get your hands up.
He doesn't get back to the line. He tries to wriggle away, but he's stopped for a loss.
But Tom, the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
He punts it. They down it at the 1. Not much the return man can do there.
Yeah, he really did the right thing there. That's just to let it go, get out of the way, and really just give the guy credit. It was a good kick, very fortunate bounce. The last thing in the world you want to do in that kind of a situation is to fumble the football, give it up, short field for the other team, and a quick score.
And the offense gives up the safety. Not a real good job on that play.
I can't believe they just let that happen. How do you give up a safety in that situation? Unbelievable.
Dropped at the 44-yard line. They couldn't do anything against this defense on their last drive, and they were forced to punt. Jones lines up as the single back. There are 3 receivers split out wide. Fakes to the back. He didn't get his feet set as he threw. Ryans picks it off. Brought down at the 45. And that one will now make 2 interceptions he's thrown in this first half.
Not exactly the way he was hoping to start this football game, but plenty of time still remains. He can get himself right back on track.
Green, the ball carrier. Knocked out right around the 28-yard line. And that was a nice job to pick up the first down.
Nothing makes a defensive coordinator cringe more than seeing that kind of run, because then it sets up the play action, and there's almost no way to stop an offense if you can't stop the run and you have to deal with play action.
Short throw to the left. He's brought down at the 23-yard line. They fake the handoffs and complete the pass for a 6-yard gain. The backfield is in the offset I formation. He drops back to pass. Goes through his read. Drops the sure pick. An excellent job by the defense of disrupting that last play.
And that was really on the wide receiver. Not much of a route, very little separation, and gave the defense a chance to make that play.
Setting up play action. Barrett knocks it away. The defender gets a hand on it, and that will bring up
a conversion. He is tough.
The snap, set down, the kick is up. And here's your drive summary for that last series. The kick is away. Brought down at the 24-yard line. Quarterback threw a pick on their last drive. Let's see if he's able to shake it off. Offset I formation in the backfield. Jones on the handoff. He gets out to about the 25-yard line. Jones gets about a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 25. Ace backfield this time. Jones gets another carry. He's tackled at the 27. He might have gotten a yard at best. That'll bring up 3rd down. The defense sets up in the nickel. On play action, looking for an open man. Throws it. And he's out of bounds, incomplete. They complete the pass, but he was out of bounds when he brought it in.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe throw there where only the receiver can make a play on the ball. Just a little too wide on that one.
Punts it. Jones takes it at the 33. What a hit! And they take the field again, looking to capitalize on their previous drive, which resulted in a field goal. Shaw lines up under center. 3 receivers split out. Green gets the call. Brought down at about the 47-yard line. They get around 5 yards from the halfback. Offset I formation in the backfield. And they're coming after him. And they get him at the 41-yard line. He shows no hesitation and gets it in there to get the 1st down.
Yeah, you wouldn't hesitate either if you were standing back there in the pocket. I say the heck with it. Get it out of there fast. Let somebody else handle it for a little while.
Sets up the play action. He's dropped for a loss. The completion goes for negative yardage, loss of 2.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, you have to be careful about dumping it down too quickly. Stand in there, see what you've got working down the field. That time they were all over that quick throw.
He drops back to pass. Passes to his left. Tackled at the 30. Great pickup for the 1st on that one.
And really what makes NFL football so special is the ability of these quarterbacks to throw it and these great receivers to catch it. That's just fun to watch.
Looks to pass. Gets the pass out. Looks like he had it, but it's knocked loose. Johnson wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 30-yard line. Green, the lone back.
Winner of a 6-disc CD changer for your home or vehicle.
Shaw gives it up the middle. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Solid hit with the safety. He'll drop him for a loss.
Well, you know you've got an aggressive safety when he's making tackles for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. Typically, these guys are trying to not give up a big play in the passing game. Now when you see somebody in the backfield, that's impressive.
Throws into coverage, and it's intercepted. And the defense just came away with their 2nd of the half.
This defense is good, no question about it, and I like the way they're changing their looks out there, sort of like a good pitcher. They're not letting him settle in on one particular defense and really taking advantage of them.
Nice play fake. He tries to scramble. That pass wasn't even close.
Yeah, it wasn't close because the big guy was giving him a whack just as he let that one go. He was really under some pressure that time.
And they motion a guy to the right. Looking to throw. Looks for a man open. Brought down around the 44-yard line. A decent gain on the pass.
And that's good quarterback play. He recognized the blitz, he understood what was happening with the coverage behind it, and found the open man.
They line up at the 44. They line up in the shotgun.
New 45! New 45! Tiger, tiger, tiger!
Back to throw. Rockets it. Almost intercepted. Coles wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play.
Fargo, Fargo, Fargo. Come on, D, let's get off the field now. Scatter! Quick game, 44 screw. Over, tough, keep straight.
Play fake. Looks down the field. He steps out around the 48-yard line. And the defense just ate that one up, Chris.
Yeah, you're not going to fool this defense on plays like that very much. At least he got the ball out of there, though.
Come on!
And they use motion.
Hey, let's make some plays now. Left call, left call. Stay right.
He's looking to throw. He needs to get rid of it. He's there for the catch. He's brought down around the 41-yard line. A nice completion to the tight end.
I always thought tight ends were sort of like pacifiers for babies, you know? Just about the time that you need a little security blanket, you know where to go.
Jones takes the give. Cuts back and he's dropped. Jones gains about 4 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 6 coming up. And this is the 8th play of the drive.
Zebra, zebra! Right, close right!
Back to throw. Dumps it out left. Pass is complete. Defense pushes him out of bounds at the 28-yard line. The defense just didn't match up well on that play.
Yeah, tough to match up one-on-one in man coverage against that wide receiver. He's pretty good.
New 45! New 45! Go!
Into the end zone for a touchdown. And so, with a trail of defenders in his wake, he takes it down the field for a touchdown.
Boy, did he hit the Jets or what? Once he got clear, it was over. Goodbye.
They're lining it up for the point after. The kick is up, and the point after is good. And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. The kick is away. They get him at the 30. On his last drive, the quarterback completed a pass, but to the other team. Throwing another one could be disastrous to this offense. Single back formation, 3 wide receivers.
Let's get it.
Give to the tailback. He's tackled at the 32-yard line. Gain of 2, and that will bring up 2nd down. It's 2nd down and 8 to go. Houston lines up in the offset eye this time.
New 45. New 45. Big play, D. Swim. Turnover.
He fakes it. Dropped an easy one, and he just managed to get a piece of it. Nice play by the defender.
And as a receiver, you really have to do a better job of coming back to the football at that point. You have to help the quarterback.
We got to play. Here we go.
Shaw will be sacked.
Got to think they'll punt it away here in this situation. No point in taking any chances when you're on the wrong side of the field like this.
And watch out, they're going to bring the heat right here. Gets it away cleanly. Washington fields it at the 34. Brought down at the 48-yard line. I really like this guy's ability to return kicks.
Yeah, you know this guy's been back there making plays since his college days, his high school days, and pee-wee football, flag football, playing touch in the back. This guy can break it no matter where he is.
Drops back on first down. Short pass to his left. Knocked out right around the 50-yard line. Not much of a gain at all on that completion. What happened on that one?
Well, I think the offense really just trying to make a safe throw rather than taking a big chance and throwing it down the field. You get the ball in the hands of your receiver and let him try and make a play. That time, nothing there.
Screen here, Quan, screen. Keep playing, fellas.
He drops back to pass. Throws to the middle. He's dropped at the 43-yard line. Pickup of about 8. It's third down now, just about the length of the football away from the first down marker.
Touch! Blue 45! On the sprint! Touch! Blue call! Touch! All right, blitz! Touch! Watch the run now, watch the run! Touch! Reload! Touch!
Setting up play action. Dumps it out right. Huge hit. The defense was looking run, and they threw it for a big gain.
Well, when you have a talented running back like this, you always have to account for him. That time, a nice play-action pass, open it up down the field.
Pennington with a nice play fake. He throws left, brings this one in. He's brought down right around the 30-yard line. Not much of a gain on that play-action pass. Second down now with 10 to go. Ball on the 31. Jones, the lone back. Pennington calls for motion right. Pennington hasn't missed yet. Gets the pass off. Brought down at the 17. He made the right read on that pass.
Nice play that time by the quarterback. You know, we talk about progressions and going from one receiver to the next, but this quarterback is doing a great job in the pre-snap read, knowing who the first guy will be and getting him the football.
Here's the give. He's dropped at the 14. Jones gets 3 yards on the carry.
Gain of 3.
It's second down and 7 to go. Jones lines up as the deep back, I formation. They'll give it off here. And they get him at the 9. The halfback runs for 4 yards. The offense facing another third down here as they line up. The Jets come out in the ace formation. Passes to the end zone. Touchdown. Tight end scored that time and with authority.
If you get those big tight ends moving vertically down the field, they can be really intimidating for defensive backs. Good pitch and catch there.
Here's the kick. Point after is good. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. The kick is away. Still going. He's hammered at the 26-yard line. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. The offense will take over at the 26-yard line. Houston comes out in the shotgun.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Watch it, D. Hold on.
On the ground with a tailback. Brought down behind the line. The offensive line didn't get much of a push on that play, and the runner was stuffed.
Well, that's what happens when defensively you get every gap covered. There is simply nowhere to go with the football. No chance for the running back that time.
Back to throw. Moves up in the pocket. And it's caught. That one worked just as they drew it up.
Good pass, good catch, I agree. Sometimes there's really nothing you can do as a defense to stop a well-executed pass play.
Blue 45. Come on now.
All kinds of pressure. Off-target pass. And they can't complete the first down pass attempt. Second down coming up. From their own 39-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Get the ball out.
Houston lines up with 3 receivers, single back formation.
48. 48. Block 99, Philly.
They'll keep it on the ground again. He's going to be tackled for a loss. They get a 1-yard loss on that one.
I don't think the defense was fooled on that one. It was like they were sitting back in the huddle listening in.
Back to pass. Looking for a receiver. Knocked away. And it'll be 4th down following the pass deflection.
Just terrific play by the defense. They followed the quarterback's eyes, made a quick jump on the ball, and were all over that one.
Gets it away cleanly. And they make the fair catch. This offense seems to have found its stride as they take the field again after their last 2 successful drives. Pennington steps up to the line, 3 wide receivers.
Keep coming. Let's go get it, baby.
They'll give it off here. He's tackled around the 25-yard line. Jones gains about 2 yards on the run. They line up at the 25. Pennington comes up to the line, 3 wide receivers split out wide.
Blue 45. Blue 45. There we go.
Gives to the back. He's brought down at the 28-yard line. Jones gets 3 yards on the play. So it's 3rd down now. The offense will need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
Come on, D. Green 88. Go. Green 88. Hey, let's go.
He's looking to throw. Throws short. Brought down at the 34. It looked short to me, but they get the first.
Yeah, and you can tell which receiver this quarterback likes in those tough 3rd down situations. He dropped back and got him the ball immediately.
48. 48. New car. Come on, D.
Drops back. He needs to get the pass off. He's dropped around the 38-yard line. Good call going with the designed rollout there.
Good patience that time by the quarterback, just checking down to the underneath route, giving his guy a chance to make a play.
Tiger. Blue 45, baby. Blue 45. Let's go right.
Pennington takes it back. There for the reception. He's brought down at the 41-yard line. Pickup of about 3.
Boy, that's really a nice tackle on that play. Anytime you get man coverage on the outside against a receiver, you have to be able to make that one-on-one play, and he did it great.
Back to pass. Strong throw. And they get him at the 48-yard line. So on 3rd down, he finds his receiver and gets a big gain.
Receivers who can make plays like that on 3rd down tend to have nice, long careers.
Baker motions to the right side. Drops back on 1st down. Guns it out. And the defender intercepts it. Brought down at the 44-yard line. So the defense just picked off their third pass today.
You know, one of the really misleading stats in football is completion yards. If you're throwing it up and down the field but turning it over, it just doesn't matter. You have to maintain possession of the ball.
Fakes to the back. Fires it right. With the catch. He got depleted. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did, and when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
Give to the tailback. And he's depleted at the 24-yard line. Green gains around 6 yards on the run. Houston goes with the ace set here. Another run. Finally make the tackle, and it will be first and goal. Excellent execution on that counter.
Yeah, really not much the defense could do there. The backside really blocked down. They came around to the play side with those big offensive linemen. That one looked easy.
Here's the give. And he will lose yardage on the play. Quarterback did a nice job recognizing the play and getting in there for the stop.
For me, there's nothing more impressive in football than to see a cover cornerback able to come up and make the stops on the run. That's a complete football player.
He fakes it. Catches it one-handed. Just a superb effort there to find the fullback for the score.
So many times you forget about the fullback on the goal line thinking that he's just going to be a lead blocker when he sneaks out there on a pass route, just so hard to defend.
Up and good. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. He kicks it. They get him at the 24-yard line. The quarterback leads his offense back onto the field after turning it over on their last drive. New York comes out in the shotgun. Back to pass. Dumps it out left. He's tackled around the 28-yard line. Nice passing catch on that play that gets him a lot closer.
Yep, and that's really just the way they drew that one up. You take what the defense gives, looking to move the ball efficiently downfield with intermediate passes.
Luke 45. Luke 45. Let's go, D. Reload.
Give to the tailback. He's brought down right around the 28-yard line. A 1-yard gain.
Well, that time the outside linebacker came on the run blitz. They got some penetration and shut down the play.
Touch. Green 88. Scatter.
Looking for an open man. Robinson gets the pick. That gives the defense their 4th pick today.
And this quarterback thinks he's doing the right thing. He's trying to look off the defenders. He's trying to read the defense. They're just a little better than he is right now.
There's a play fake. He throws it. Pass completed. Brought down at the 49-yard line. Gain of 6 off play action that time. Schaub will come to the line with a 3-wide formation. Green on the give. And he makes it out to about the 47-yard line. A 2-yard run by the halfback. They line up at the 47. They line up in a one-back set. He'll get the call again. And he makes it out to about the 44-yard line. It wasn't a big game, but he got them enough to convert.
Yeah, the defense really played that one pretty well, but anytime you get in those short yardage situations, You can't allow that ball carrier to fall forward. If he does, typically you pick up the first down.
The defender got there in time to break that play up.
He did. He was able to get his hands on the ball, but if he had missed that one might have turned into a really big play.
Looking to throw. Short pass to his left. Hit and dropped behind the line. Loss of 3 on the completion.
Boy, that's just great anticipation by the defense there. They saw that play coming and were all over it.
The Jets bring in their dime package.
We're talking about green 88. Green 88. Scatter, scatter, scatter.
Shaw will look to throw. Throws while on the run. And they get him at the 22-yard line. And this receiver just loves it when the defense is in man coverage.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when you're coming off the ball and you know it's just you and the guy across from you. That's just good old-fashioned football, but you also know typically when you get man coverage, your quarterback is under pressure.
They finally get him, and it looked like he would score, but instead they'll set it up with 1st and goal. Shaw comes to the line with 3 wide. Shaw adjusts the play at the line.
Zebra.
Back to pass. Goes through his read. Under heavy pressure. Makes the reception. He's dropped at the 7. The defense was right there for the stop on the play. Not much of a gain at all.
Yeah, let's give a little credit to the coaching staff on that play. You talk all the time about film study and preparation and knowing what the other team is trying to do to you. That time the defense was all over it.
Base. Right. Come on.
Setting up play action. Throws it. Makes the catch. They went to their big fullback, who's rarely used in the passing game, and he got him 6 points.
Those big fullbacks, sometimes they have bricks for hands, but not this guy. He can hang on to it with anybody.
Lining up for the point after. Extra point is good. And here's your drive summary for that last series. The kick is away. Gathered at the 6. Right by the tackler. Drilled at the 26-yard line. The quarterback and his receiver were clearly not on the same page last time, and it led to an interception. Houston brings in their prevent defense. There are 7 DBs on the field.
48. Come on, baby. Turbo. Hey, man.
Looks to pass. With the pass. Tackled around the 27-yard line. Not much of a gain at all on that first down completion.
Pretty tough sometimes when a quarterback is looking at his first read, it's not there. The second read is there, but he knows his guy is going to get hit immediately afterwards, and that's what happened there. They took away the first and second read.
Only one man back.
Blue 45. Let's go. Black,
Back to throw. Looks for a man open. Wide open, and he can't hang on. That incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. Chris, that was a pretty nice defensive stand.
Really nice defensive stand. It just seemed that the defensive coordinator was inside the offensive play caller's mind that time.
Gets it away cleanly. Jones fields it at the 34. And they get him at the 42. Their previous 2 trips downfield were a success, and they take the field hoping for a third. The Texans line up with 2 tight ends. It's the tailback. He lost yardage on the play, and they were not able to get much there.
And so many times you hear offensive coordinators criticized because they don't try to run the football enough. Well, when you get stuffed in the backfield like that, you understand why they would rather call the pass play.
And the pass is knocked away. Daniels was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt. From their own 42-yard line. Shaw lines up under center. 3 receivers are split out wide. Looking to throw. On the run, he throws it. Brought down around the 49-yard line. Pretty good gain on that completion, but it won't be enough for the first.
And you could see the defense that time. They knew exactly where those first down chains were. They were going to allow some underneath passes, but then came up and made the tackle, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Big play that time.
Well, if you like offense, then this first half was right up your alley. Our score here is the Texans 24, the Jets 19. He kicks it. Washington fields it at the 2. Hit and dropped at the 30. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Here's the halfback. Tackled at the 34-yard line. A pickup of 4. That'll bring up 2nd down. From their own 34-yard line. Offset I formation in the backfield.
Get you over there, baby. Get him blocked. Close, open right. Stay right. Somebody make a play.
What a brutal hit. You might need to have the doctor take a look at him after that one.
Well, it looks like he's okay, but I don't know how. He cannot keep taking shots like that. And I'll tell you another thing. This guy's a tough guy, but I don't care who you are. As a quarterback, you take hits like that, you start looking at the pass rush.
Passes. Hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. And the hit knocked the ball out on that play.
That's just a big hit right there. No way the receiver could hold on to that one.
Jones is the deep man awaiting the return. They get this one off, and it's a great kick. Jones fields it at the 26. He's dropped around the 34-yard line. You can't help but wonder if they'll be able to make it 3 straight drives ending with a touchdown. They line up with 1 running back in the backfield, 3 wide. Looks to pass. Surveys the field. Is there for the catch. He's brought down at the 45. Excellent pass by the quarterback on that play.
I'm really enjoying watching the timing between this receiver and the quarterback. We're seeing a well-schooled offense now going to work.
Zebra. Come on, let's go. New call.
Green on a counter left side. He's dropped for a loss. They're stopped for a 5-yard loss. That brings up 2nd down. 2nd down and 15 to go. Ball on the 40. Shaw is under center. They'll come out in the single back formation. He's looking to throw. Defense is getting pressure. And they get him at about the 47-yard line. And simply a great throw there.
Yeah, that really was a nice touch that time. Perfect sort of combination of velocity and touch. A very catchable ball thrown by this quarterback so that you don't have to overly focus on what you're doing and you can get your eyes back down the field, try and get a good run after the catch.
Looks down the field. Threw it right to him, but he can't hang on. And the pass was knocked away at the last minute.
Well, at the end of the game, you go back and you basically say what happened on 3rd down, and you have a pretty good indication of how that game came out. Good play by the defense.
He punts it. And they'll down it at the 3. He did everything that was asked of him on that punt.
Yeah, that was a great job. He kept it in the field of play. It was downed inside his opponent's territory. All the return man really could do in that situation is just get out of the way.
Jones gets the call. He's tackled at the 6. He picks up 4 yards on the carry. New York is going with the offset eye backfield. On the ground, up the middle. He didn't get back to the line. Tried to find something, but there wasn't anything there for him.
Yeah, not anything at all. And as a running back, you're probably going back to the huddle going, guys, a little help, please?
Luke 45! Luke, left call.
He drops back to pass. Goes through his read. And it's picked. Tackled right around the 16-yard line. That's his 5th pick of the game. Unbelievable.
Tom, I have to tell you, I was the worst quarterback in the history of the planet. I played through high school and my freshman year of college, and not even I could throw 5 interceptions in one game. I tried, but I never did do that.
Sets up the play action. Makes the grab. Brought down at about the 9-yard line. He was lucky to get that one off. He was under a lot of pressure in the pocket.
Good play design there. Very solid protection. Gave the quarterback time to examine the whole field until he finally found the open man.
Here's the halfback. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. A gain of 3 yards.
Nice call there by the defensive coordinator, coming with the outside linebacker blitz, which really put some pressure on this group up front.
Setting up play action. Completed. Gets in for the touchdown. And so he caught the short pass for the score.
And there's no doubt the quarterback knows who his moneymaker is down here on the goal line. He loves that big tight end.
And they line up for the extra point. Set down, the kick is up, and the point after is good. And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Great kick here. He'll return it from the 1. At the 30, they get him at the 35. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Drops back. He throws on the run. He's brought down at the 48-yard line. He put something extra on that throw, and it'll keep the chains moving.
And that's really what it takes sometimes, because defenders are so quick out there. If you don't put a little extra pop on it, they can get there.
Jones gets the ball left side. He's tackled at the 45. Takes the handoff and responds with a 7-yard gain. New York lines up in the offset eye this time.
Luke 45. Luke 45. Regular. No. Zebra.
Back to pass. Throws on the run, and he catches it. Everything seemed to work perfectly on that one.
And that's a pattern that this team likes to run. You know they've been studying that all week on film, and yet they still can't stop it.
They'll give it off here. He fights forward to about the 26. Jones gains about a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. The Jets come out with the offset eye. Pennington drops back. And they're coming after him. Bennett catches it. Interception. And just a great interception by the cornerback.
Might want to start thinking about trying to pick on that guy. We've seen all day he has simply been quicker to the spot than the wide receivers coming into his area.
Hands it off. And they get him right around the 14-yard line. Green gets about 4 yards on the play from their own 15-yard line. Houston comes out with an I formation. Looks for a man open. Comes down with it. He's dropped at the 29-yard line.
Andre Johnson is just a guy with freakish sort of skills, an unusual combination of speed and athleticism and quickness and toughness. And when he gets around the football, he is a threat to go all the way on any play.
Here's the pass. And it's completed. Another fine pass and catch on that play.
I know we all talk about 40-yard dash times in the NFL, but as a receiver, if you are a great route runner and you understand what the defenses are trying to do to you, it doesn't matter if you run a 4.3 40. If you can get in and out of your cuts like this guy, you will always be able to play.
Rhodes has the pick. He's down the sideline. He's hit hard on the play. The defense looks like they're running a pick drill out there.
And I think you said that well, because this has been a team defense. They've been getting pressure, good coverage in the secondary, and this quarterback is struggling.
First and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. 6 DBs on the field for the defense. Jones gets it on the inside. Brought down at the 13. Jones gets 3 yards on the play.
Gain of 3.
Just about 12 yards away now. The backfield is in the offset I formation.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Let's go. Let's get the ball out. Hey, pick 6 right here. Pick 6. Reload.
He'll get the call again. They finally get him, and it looked like he would score, but instead they'll set it up with first and goal. It's a 2-possession game, and the offense can cut that down if they can get it in the end zone here. Baker, the man in motion. They're going to pitch it. He's in. Touchdown. That's his second score of the game, Chris.
Yeah, it was, but the defense just looked like they were out of sync on that last play. They haven't been sharp the entire game, to be honest. There's got to be some miscommunication, failed gap responsibility, because they're just running the ball too consistently against this defense.
The snap, set down, the kick is up. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. Excellent kick here. And he gets brought down hard. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Drops back on first down. Rifles it out there. Stiff arms, and he's brought down. And that pass had to be right on the money.
And Tom, I thought that might have been a pick six the other way. That was good coverage, but a huge throw that time by the quarterback.
Houston motions left. He looks to throw on first down. Not much time to throw. Sacked! And that was a huge rush he was facing.
I'm not sure there was much he could do there. I'm not even sure he saw those guys coming. I tell you what, though, if they don't start doing a better job protecting up front, it's going to be a long day for this quarterback.
Back to throw. He throws it. Right through his hands. He almost had the pick. What a play by the defender.
And the quarterback really caught a break on that one that wasn't intercepted.
Shaw comes to the line with 3 wide.
Scatter!
Looks to pass. Gets the throw off. Tackled around the 40-yard line. The third down pass got them good yardage, but not quite enough to convert.
Yeah, that was a tough third down situation. They got the good completion, a good gain on the play, but probably asking too much out of the receiver to try and break that many tackles to pick up that first down.
He gets it away. Makes the fair catch. The offense lines up and is looking to score again after a successful trip to the end zone on their last drive. 4 wide receivers set. Drops back. Scans the field. It's completed. And he's knocked out right around the 22-yard line. Good read of the defense on that pass play.
Yeah, and throws like that really settle a quarterback down. It's all about getting into the flow of a game, and you can see he's getting comfortable now.
Blue 45! Blue 45! Left smash free! Rigo!
He's looking to throw. Gets it off. He couldn't hang on to it. The defender was able to get a hand on it.
And really, that came as a result of pretty physical play at the line of scrimmage. They're banging these guys around and not letting them get into their routes.
What a shot! You try the old sneak play and get maybe 3 yards. It's 4th down. The Jets are lining up to punt it away. Jones back to return it. Punts it. Jones fields it at the 31. He's tackled at the 38. Let's see if the offense can put something together on this drive. Houston is going with the offset eye backfield. Shaw gets sacked. The defense just flexed their muscles on that one.
How many times do you see a team perfectly execute a blitz pickup and simply can't block the guy? And there's nothing the coaches can do there. They did their job, but the guys just got overwhelmed.
Here's a draw. And they get him at the 34-yard line. Almost got a yard, and so it'll be 3rd down. The defense is in the 3-2-6 defense. Looking to throw. Surveys the field. This one won't find a target. He simply overthrew the receiver on that last play.
And I'm not so sure the pressure isn't getting in his head a little bit. He dropped back, set his feet very quickly, and got that one out of there. But you have to give the receiver a chance to get there first.
He punts it. Washington fields it at the 26. I'm sure they would have liked to have gotten a little better return out of him there.
Yeah, he really didn't have much of a chance at all to make anything happen there. I mean, I know this guy's a dangerous punt return guy, but you can't do it on your own.
He looks to throw on first down. He's dropped for the sack. And he had no problem getting to the quarterback on that one.
It almost looked like the offensive line didn't know who to block on that one. Sometimes the best part of blitzing is You create situations where the offensive line have to all think, have to all be on the same page. One guy messes up and it's over.
Drops back, goes through his read. Drops the sure pick. The pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
I think the quarterback may have had to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to. The pressure was starting to get there.
Hey, watch this, man. Green 88. Let's go, G. Green 88. Same thing. Watch the out. Cross screen.
Back to pass. Looking for an open man. And he made a great open field tackle. And that one was completed for a solid gain.
Solid gain, yes, but no first down on that play. So now it's going to bring up a decision on the part of the offense. Defensively, I think they executed that one exactly the way they wanted to.
Punts it. Jones fields it at the 30. Tackled at the 37. They could do nothing against this defense on their previous drive.
We're talking about bring it. Get that ball back.
They line up in the jumbo set.
Let's go. Let's go. 48. Let's get off this 48. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby.
Here's the give. And he just got hammered. About 8 yards there.
Well, they brought the blitz that time. The offensive line did a pretty good job recognizing it. They got the blocks, but the back was still able to get out of there for a nice gain.
Alert run, alert 45. Other side.
Gives to the back. He doesn't get back to the line. The offense had a tough time picking up all their blocks on that play.
You know, you can draw up any sort of protection scheme and blocking scheme that you want, but ultimately this game comes down to one big man against another big man, and that time the defense's big men, they won the battle.
There for the catch. He's brought down at the 46-yard line. Good job to avoid the rush and get the pass off.
When you're trying to blitz the quarterback, you better have some talented corners on the outside, because as a wideout, just give me 3 or 4 seconds against the blitz, and it is awfully tough to try and cover that.
He throws right, and he caught it. He's dropped at the 44-yard line. A couple of yards there.
Gain of 2.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 44. One-man backfield.
Let's go quick game. 44. 48. 48. What we got? Come on, baby. Hey, never quit, fellas. Friday. Base.
He drops back. He's under pressure. Brings it in. Brought down at the 34-yard line. Nice job by the quarterback to hit the tight end for a decent gain.
You know, tight ends may not come up with those real explosive plays down the field all the time, but they sure are a nice target for the quarterback.
Let's get off.
There's a play fake. Throws while on the run. He's brought down at the 18-yard line.
I really wish more people knew about Andre Johnson. This guy is just a pure physical specimen that has all the attributes of a great receiver. Now, over the years, he just hasn't gotten the attention of a Randy Moss or a T.O. or one of these guys, but this is a special player in the NFL.
The halfback runs for 4 yards. And so with 3 in the books, we're locked in a tight one. Our score, the Texans 31, the Jets 26. It's second down, 6 to go. Ball on the 14. Houston sets up in the I.
Over 48. 48.
Throws it short. They tackle him for a loss. Loss of a couple on the completed pass.
They did a great job of keeping containment there. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that one.
And they use motion. Shaw back to pass. He's been perfect on this drive. He's in for the score. That touchdown pass will be his 4th of the game.
And he's going to remember that one. That was tremendous execution right there. They saw an opportunity, saw the hole, brilliant throw, terrific catch, and a good score.
And they line up for the extra point. Up and good. And we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Good distance on the kick. And he's drilled. What a hit. They were forced to punt on their last drive. They'll go to work at the 27. First down, 10 to go. The backfield is in the offset I formation. They'll give it off here. Stiff arms, and the defender still makes the tackle. He picks up 4 yards on the carry. Offset I formation in the backfield. Pennington drops back to pass. Passes the ball. He's tackled at the 41-yard line. A good play to the tight end that time.
And tight ends are so big that as coverage people, it's tough to figure out how to defend them. If you're on their left side, they throw it to their right side. If you're behind them, they throw it in front. Tight ends are tough to cover.
And they get him at the 42. The running back picks up a yard on that counter. 2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball on their own 42. The offense lines this one up in shotgun with 2 tight ends. Back to pass. Throws it short. He steps out at the 44-yard line. Smith grabbed that one for a gain of 2. That'll make it 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fires it out. Wright was the intended target on that incomplete pass attempt. They line up in an I. Pennington dropping back. He needs to get rid of it. Passes it. And he catches another. That's a great 4th down conversion.
Yeah, but you don't want to make a living on 4th down. You'd like to execute a little bit better on the first 3 downs. Let's see what they can do here.
Drops back. Looks for a man open. The back makes the catch, and he has a lane. Pretty nice throw on that play.
And a pretty good catch on the other end, too. That's one of those plays that's quickly becoming one of the staples in this offensive passing attack.
Sets up the play action. Oh, you gotta catch that. Baker was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass.
3rd down.
It's the 9th play of the drive. Pennington comes up to the line. 3 wide receivers split out wide. He's looking to throw. On the run, he throws it. Hatchery was the intended receiver, but the pass fell incomplete. Looks like they decided to go for it here. Jones is the deep back as they line up in the I. Dumps it out right. He's tackled at the 29-yard line. From their own 29-yard line. The Texans set up in the gun.
Blue 45.
Makes the throw out to his right. Nearly picked off. He should have had that one. Oh my, the quarterback is lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, you try and fit some of those into some tight holes, and every once in a while, you're going to get one pick, but that was a pretty good play by the defense.
It's the tailback. Tackled at the 33. Green picks up about 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 6 coming up. Ball on the 33-yard line. The Jets line up with a nickelback. Daniels comes in motion. Looking to throw. He's running out of time. Catch is made. Brought down around the 48-yard line. Great time for that type of pass. It worked to perfection.
And that was a nice job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback enough time to survey the field and find the open guy.
Again with the carry. Dropped behind the line. What can they do to slow his pursuit down?
So many times it's up to that backside blocker to get his guy on the ground, and it sounds ugly, but typically those guys are chopping at their knees and trying to knock them off their feet, so there's some cutback lanes.
Scatter, scatter, scatter. Let's roll, let's roll.
Hit hard at the 42. He couldn't get anywhere on that one.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to admit defeat on a play as a running back and just try and get that thing back to the line of scrimmage.
The defense has him surrounded. Tipped away. What an effort out there. He just got his hands in there and broke it up.
I love watching the closing speed of this defense. When they see the ball, they go get it.
New York is lined up. They look like they're sending the house after this punt. Punts it. It'll go out at the 36-yard line. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Hands it off. He's brought down around the 40-yard line. The halfback runs for 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They line up in the I formation. Drops back. He passes short. And they get him at the 44-yard line. Coles picks up about 4 yards with the catch. So that'll make it 3rd down. 3rd down now, needing a couple to convert. Jones lines up as the lone back. 3 receivers split out wide. He drops back. Short throw to the right. He's there for the catch. Knocked out right around the 44-yard line. And a nice pass to the tight end.
So much of the game today revolves around those substitution packages, trying to bring extra defensive backs on the field to try and help against the pass. But when you have a big receiving tight end, that really makes that plan awfully tough to execute.
He's tackled at the 44-yard line. Jones gets about a yard on the play. 2nd and 9. Ball on the 44-yard line. The Jets line up in an I formation. Play action. He goes up high for the catch. Nice play there to pick up the 1st down.
And he went way up to snag that one. That was a pretty catch.
Empty backfield and 5 wideouts here.
Blue 45! Blue 45!
Drops back on 1st down. Pass is complete. Loose ball. I think the defense has it, and they do. The ball came free, and the defense was right there to scoop it up.
Well, one thing for sure, the ball is not going to stay free on that field for very long. Defensively, they were all over that one.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the field. The quarterback in the shotgun. First down, looking to throw. Brings this one in. And they get him at the 35. That catch puts him over 100 yards receiving.
Not much doubt, is there, Tom, as to who this quarterback likes. He found the guy that he's most comfortable with, and he doesn't care which coverage you're in. He's going to this guy.
Shaw hands off. Hit and drop behind the line. Nice stop on that play.
Yeah, great defense at the point of attack, but also very impressive, the pursuit to the ball. They were all coming there.
Watch the switch.
Another run. He's dropped at the 33-yard line. Gain of 2. That'll bring up third down. Houston will line up in a jumbo set here. Scans the field. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. He couldn't get 2 feet in on that one.
Well, that's something receivers work on all the time, dragging that back toe, just unable to do it that time.
Jerseys and collectible memorabilia.
Punts it. It'll go out at the 12-yard line. You have to like it when your punter can pin the ball inside the 20 like that.
You know, this has got to be one of the tougher punts to make here. It's so easy to get a little too much on the kick, sending it into the end zone for a touchback. He did a great job hitting it just right on that one.
And the defense has a heavy rush. And that will be number 4 for the game.
Really impressive performance so far by this defense. And I thought coming in, they had a good chance to get pressure. I'm not sure I even anticipated this kind of pressure, though.
Defense is getting pressure. What an open field tackle. Just a short, efficient throw that time.
Yeah, a true sign of patience on the offensive side. You let the play develop. You find the open receiver. Maybe he takes a look down the field. It's not there. Just go ahead and take that safe throw.
Pennington back to throw. He throws short. Tackled at the 17. And for as good of a catch as that was, this offense now has to deal with a 4th down. They get this one off, and it's a great kick. Jones fields it at the 41. And they get him at the 43-yard line. What happened to the coverage there, Chris?
Oh, come on. They completely lost containment on that guy. I mean, you just can't let that happen. I'll be honest. They were really lucky they didn't give up a touchdown on that one.
Green takes the give. He's tackled around the 37-yard line. Green gets 6 yards on the play. They'll come out in the eye.
Come on. 48. 48. Come on, D, let's get off the field now.
They'll go with the run once again. Tackled at the 31. Green got past the defenders and picked up a solid gain for the first. 1st and 10. Shaw is under center. 2 tight ends this time. Fakes to the back. Gets rid of the ball. He took a shot at the 21-yard line. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play.
Yeah, really a nice route that time. One of the keys to playing wide receiver is the ability to not only get into cuts, but to get out of the cuts. That time, very explosive coming out of that cut, and it made the difference.
He's dragged down on the play, and that's sack number 4 in the game.
The pressure by this defense has been there all day, and offensively, they're just struggling trying to come up with a protection scheme that works.
Drops back to pass. He throws on the run, and it's caught. And he dropped him in the open field. That's now 300 yards passing for the quarterback.
Yeah, and this guy really knows how to lead this football team. You can just see it in the huddle. He's in control of all situations, not only in the huddle, but at the line of scrimmage. Good checks there. There's no question who's in charge on this football team.
Play fake. Goes for the end zone. Makes the catch. Touchdown. How can the defense keep him out of the end zone, Chris? That was his second score of the game.
You know, Tom, they're trying to get physical with him. They're trying to beat him up a little bit, but he's too quick. He just keeps eluding the defenders. Every time they try to get physical with him, he ends up scoring a touchdown.
They come on the field to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. It's good. A lot of game left. 4 minutes remaining in the quarter, and our score, the Texans 45, the Jets 26. He kicks it. Washington fields it at the goal line. That was a great hit. He wasn't getting away from that one. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. They'll take over at the 27-yard line. 5 DBs on the field. Hands it off. He's hammered in the backfield. Looked for a seam, but he wasn't able to find anything.
And let's give credit to the defense. They had a great push there. They got in the backfield, took control of their own gaps.
Pennington sends a man in motion. Looking to throw. Not much time to throw. And he's hammered at the 30. Good pocket presence shown as the quarterback was able to get rid of it just before the pressure got to him.
Hey, no need to force it. He just took what the defense gave him there, found the open man, and picked up a few yards.
Let's stop it right now.
He drops back. He throws right. Brought down at the 44-yard line. You can tell these guys practice that play quite a bit.
Yeah, I can remember hearing stories about old-time players in the NFL that literally they could go out in the pitch black and make throws and catches without really even seeing the ball. That's the kind of timing we're seeing today.
Back to throw. Here's the throw. He's brought down at about the 45-yard line. That pass is good for a first down.
And he had some zip on that one, didn't he? He reared back and threw that one about as hard as he could.
Offset I formation in the backfield. Drops back. Throws it out. He's dropped at the 34-yard line. He's put up some nice yardage.
He sure has, but throwing for 300 yards probably isn't quite the same feat it used to be. You know, there's so many rule changes now. The offensive linemen can do a little more holding, use their hands more. Of course, you can't hit the receivers, but it's still a nice landmark.
Looking to throw. Throws it short. And they get him at the 27. The completed pass goes for a gain of 7.
Nice play there. It's only 7 yards, but that's the kind of underneath throw that eventually opens up some throws down the field.
Pennington drops back, looking for a receiver. Defender gets his hand on it. Not sure it was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. Third down once again. Let's see if they can convert this one. Pennington is in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers split out wide.
Luke 45! Luke 45! Rigo! Get off, baby, get off!
He drops back. Throws on the run. Tackled at about the 17-yard line. The quarterback did a good job of recognizing the coverage and finding the open man.
There's really no better feeling as an offense, especially for the quarterback position, than to take advantage when the defense is trying to blitz you. They're trying to make you nervous, and you just made them pay.
And it's batted away at the last minute by the defender.
Just when it looked like the quarterback might sneak that one in there, a late pass defense and a good play.
Drops back to pass. He catches another. He's finally dragged down, and now it will be first and goal. They're crowding that line of scrimmage. The Jets changing their play at the line. On play action. Hits him square in the hands, but he fails to bring it in.
Target on the play. Second down.
Only 5 yards away from the goal line. They'll work from the shotgun.
Go make this run, baby. Green 88. Let's go now. Green 88.
Looks to pass. Dumps it out right. He's tackled at the 2. Pretty nice read on that play to find the open man.
Yeah, the two of them really have been working hard, building a rapport in practice, and now you're starting to see some of those results out here on the field.
Come on, G. Here we go, G.
Back to pass. Reeves bats it down. And the pass will fall incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
And those are the kind of big third down plays you have to have on defense to get the ball back and give your team a chance on offense.
Another run. No chance. Dropped for a loss. Turnover on downs. First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 3. The backfield is in the offset I formation.
Get your hands up front. Touch. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They get to him. He hasn't had much of a problem finding the quarterback in this one.
No question about it. They've had a tough time stopping this guy so far. Maybe they're going to have to move a back or a tight end, somebody over there to at least slow him down so they can get a pass off.
Nice play fake with the throw. Threw it right to him, but he can't hang on. And this one-sided affair will come to a close. Our score, the Texans 45, the Jets 26.